Hey guys, welcome to Grand Prairie Weekend Update. My name is Pastor Rob. I'm so happy and excited to be here. This is a time when we get to give you guys some information and a look inside our campus and at some of the people that serve here. So let me introduce Pastor Josh. What's up? I'm so glad that you're here, our campus pastor. He's going to introduce the rest of the staff. Pastor Josh, what's up?
Hey, Pastor Rob, how you doing?
Amazing.
We love watching you every weekend with our kids on the elementary teaching. You're doing a great job. I want to introduce Deanna Gutierrez, our care pastor. And then next to her is her husband, Eric Gutierrez. And even though they're in the same house, they're on separate computers. I want to let everyone know Eric is our newest pastor on staff. And Eric, we're so glad to have you. Eric's been at Grand Prairie for a long time. Served as a deacon in many roles, and he's going to be serving as a groups pastor, working with marriage and family and men.
Hey, great. So, Pastor Josh, if you don't mind, I want to ask you some questions. You're married, is that right?
That is correct. 18 years.
When's your anniversary?
February 2nd, 2002. We were married 02/02/02.
Did you plan it that way? So as a male, you could remember it? Okay.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Sure. And you have offspring.
I have two daughters.
Okay.
Emily Citron, who is 13, and they just finished school. So today's their first week of summer. So Emily is going into the 8th grade now. And then Sydney, who is our little bundle of joy, she's 6 and she just finished 1st grade.
Wow. It's just one male and all females in there. Are you watching like Hallmark movies and starting to cry? Have you noticed that like there's this empathy is rising in this season that you're contained with all these women in your house?
Absolutely not. Listen, I've been around women my entire life. I have 5 sisters. I grew up as the only brother until I have one brother now who's 17 years younger than me. But for most of my childhood, I was the only boy in the house with 5 sisters. So wow. This is nothing to me. I'm used to it, all girls. But okay. The only thing I will say that I have watched that I normally would never watch during this quarantine is American Idol.
What is the past 7-8 weeks, now that we're not at the church, what have we been doing as a campus?
We've called every single person that's attended Grand Prairie and that we have any info on, and whether they came one time at Easter or they've been there, they go every Sunday. So we're calling people just to say, hey, we love you, we care about you. We don't care if you go to Gateway anymore or not. We want to pray for you if you have any prayer needs, and we want to help maybe meet any financial needs, which Deanna will talk about. So we've started with that. We've also, our community outreach has just gone out the roof. It's incredible what's happening with hospitals, GPISD, and then feeding the hungry.
Before you go, do you have any idea? I was going to say when we get back to normal, but I don't think there's going to be a normal again. When are we going to be back in campus having services? Is there any idea of when that's going to happen, you think?
That is a great question, Pastor Rob. I will tell you this. We have an amazing leadership team at Gateway Church. Our strategic team, our elders, our senior pastor, Pastor Robert, Pastor Jimmy, Pastor Todd Lane. These guys are incredible. They are really looking at, and there's a lot of work going in right now into reopening. And when we do reopen, I don't have a date for you. I apologize. We're still online right now. But when we reopen, it will be safe. It will be a celebration. But unfortunately, I do not have a date I can give you today. Until then, we are still watching online. We're still doing digital Zoom with small groups and building community, engaging the core, and caring for those in need. So those are our 3 big emphases right now. I'm sorry I don't have a date I can give you today, though. I'm sorry to all you watching. I know you'd love me to give you a date, but I can't do it. Hey, thank you guys so much. All of you at Gateway Grand Prairie, we love you so much. And if you need anything, let us know. Thank you, everyone who came out last night to the Park and Pray event at Baylor Irving. It was an amazing night. Had the police chief, the fire chief, the president of the hospital was there. They were all just saying how grateful they are to Gateway Church for coming and praying and showing our support for our hospital workers and first responders. So anyway, I'm going to go. Bless this family. Love you guys.
All right, so we're gonna talk to Pastor Diana Gutierrez. So I had to practice that last. Am I saying that correctly? Gutierrez? Probably not.
You got it right. Yeah, Gutierrez.
Okay. But
Roll your R.
Roll. Okay, so Pastor Diana, what is, if I need help, like what is the process? Like what's the first step, and then where does it go? What do I do? How do I get in contact with someone?
Okay, that's an awesome question. So the process is really simple. You just text the word connect to 71010. And when you do that, it will open up our care form. And in our care form, you'll be able then to choose what it is that you're needing. Are you needing assistance? Are you needing some help with groceries? Are you needing some help paying your bills? Are you wanting maybe biblical counseling? So it makes it super easy. You just choose what you want. That form gets to us. Within 24 hours, we will contact you. We will get then the process going, and we will then process your application and get you what you need. So it's pretty easy.
That is so easy. So everything from prayer to financial help with bills to, and who is this available to? Is this just to those that complete Growth Path?
Gateway is such a generous church, and we have been incredibly blessed that we are able to help anyone that really contacts us for help.
I love that the church is rising up and using those finances as gifts, and we're stewarding God's resources so well. We're managing them so well that we're able to do this.
It feels like every day is Christmas, because every day we get to bless people in our community, bless our members, bless those that are really desperate. They don't expect, they call us for help. And they say, I just want for you to pray for me. That's it. But Gateway is in a place, and it is that we're able to not only pray for people, but also bless our congregation, bless our community. So that's what it feels like. It feels like Christmas. I tell people, my job is basically being Oprah. That's it. That's the best description of my job. It's like, okay, you need this, let's get it for you. And that is the most rewarding thing that I get to do. And now with having our staff help us as well, they get to experience that as well every day, that we're not only meeting those spiritual needs, but we're meeting those tangible needs. So it's incredible. It's been an incredible season for us.
How long have you guys been married?
We've been married for almost 25 years, but we have been together for 29 years.
Okay.
So it's been a minute. It is amazing. He is my favorite coworker, no doubt. And it's fun. This is something that we dreamed about all our lives when we were dating. We would go around buildings and we would pray that they would be churches, and we would pray about one day being in ministry. So to see that on our 25th anniversary, which is coming up in December, we are stepping into what God had for us and had birthed in our heart even before we were married. So it's super exciting.
Eric, I want to ask you some questions. Like when you first came in, what was the role? How were you serving at our church when you first came?
Well, when we came in, we came in total strangers. Quickly, we found out that there were some needs at the 12:30 service that we have in church. We were barely hitting about 100 in attendance for that service. So we started serving as ushers. And at the beginning, it was my family. It was Diana, my kids, and me, and maybe a couple more volunteers. And Pastor Joel was actually our lead deacon. So it was incredible to see how the Lord has blessed that time, the service time now, which is 12:30 has been one of the fastest growing service times in our campus. So we're so excited to see that. And part of the also the roles that we served in was the Spanish interpretation ministry that we have at our campus. Diana and I, we took it over. And we made some changes, and we started serving more people that needed interpretation in Spanish. So we were so excited to serve also that part of our attendees that speak only Spanish. So we're beyond excited.
What were you doing before you just came on board in this position as marriage and family pastor and also men's pastor, and then groups within both those?
The last job that I had, I was an industrial welding instructor. The classes that I had, I dealt with a lot of men and also women, but women was the minority. We don't get a lot of women in a welding trade. It's hands-on, it's dirty, it's loud in the shop. But what we did get was a lot of men, and these men came from different backgrounds. Some of these men were transitioning from the criminal justice system into the regular society. So they needed a trade. And in part of doing that, I was able to teach them not only how to get a trade where they could provide for their families, but I was able to connect with them and also give them character qualities that maybe in their life they never had. And that was probably the most enjoyable part of the role that I played in that season, that I was able to coach these guys. And I get texts from them every single day, wherever they're in a job, they're saying, thank you. They used to call me Mr. G or Mr. E, right? Some of them had a hard time pronouncing my last name, but so they would cut it short, Mr. G, Mr. E. So I'm so proud of those guys, and I'm so happy to be here because I know that the Lord has guided Diana and I all the way to where we're at right now. And it's just a joy to be here, to be part of serving with you, Pastor Rob, and all the pastors on staff, and serving along some of our volunteers. It's just beyond words.
I know that you guys have been doing something with Thursday nights, the past 2 Thursday nights. What is that? What's going on?
We've been doing like a 10-minute segment on our Grand Prairie page, the groups page, and we touch different topics. 2 weeks ago, we touched a topic on what are the major super needs of the couple, the husband and the wife. Last week, we touched something that is very crucial subject to talk about nowadays in the season. We talked about the effects of pornography, how that has affected the family, and how the stats are, so high that is hurting marriages and also affecting men in a big way.
Thank you guys for addressing things that people don't really like to talk about, but is a major problem in our society nowadays, in the church and outside the church. If you could take your wife on a vacation right now, no COVID, you don't have to worry about where you're going, and it's all expense paid, where would you go?
There's no question we would hit one of the major beaches around the country, either Florida or some other beach that is just a blue ocean, sandy, where we can walk and we can feel the sand between our toes.
I'm seeing it now. If you have any questions that need answered on our next GRP Weekend Update, I want you to post a comment in this video. If you need anything, just a reminder, again, text the word CONNECT, CONNECT, to the phone number 710-710, and a form will come up. Fill that out. We're here to pray for you, help you in all sorts of ways. We love you and can't wait to see you next week.